This is disagree. This is agree. Pretty straightforward. You can see it in the front, you can see it behind your backs. First statement. Taking money from family or friends is always a mistake. Let's take your spots.
I would say it's a mistake only you take their last money, or if they are not very rich and you take all their savings. But if they are investors anyway, or have the opportunity to do that, then I don't see a reason why not to give them the opportunity to invest in something potentially with a very big return of investment if you are confident on what you're building.
I come from Moldova. If I take money from my father and I don't give him the money back, I will not be his son anymore, so better not take money from friends, family and fools, because it's dangerous really.
First of all, it's amazing to give them the chance to support you, assure the love that they have for you. But second, you'll be extremely happy when you'll see they will have the upside of your work. So yeah, friends and family should be your first supporters.
Thank you. Take the middle line, please. Next statement. You need a pitch deck to raise money. 3, 2, 1, take your spot.
Well, look, if you've got an idea that's so strong and so investable, you don't need slides and tell about the size of the market and the market share you're going to achieve. Your words are enough. And also, I believe investors invest in the management team, so it's 90% you anyway, and you don't appear on a pitch deck. Your personality doesn't appear from a pitch deck. It's your person sitting there in a chair.
I think we invest in people, so a very impressive person with a somehow basic pitch deck is more convincing than the other way around.
Okay, so it's all about personalities for you.
Track record, personality, enthusiasm, know-how, yes, a few traits.
Again, I'm from Moldova, so that's how we were taught to get investment, is do pitch decks and so on. But okay, so jokes aside, so in my idea, pitch deck is a structure of how do you express the logic of your business, so that the other person understands it as fast as possible and can make a wise decision on top of it.
With a pitch deck, you have visuals and you have a method to stand out. You can say a catchy phrase, but investors hears and sees pitch decks every day. It is very important, it is mandatory, and you can catch the attention, but you won't hear again from an investor if you won't send a deck.
So I think you need to have a story, you need to have a product, and you need to have a team. You need to make connection with people that will invest in you. Otherwise, it would be something transactional, not a long-term partnership. So I will say, I think we never raise money with a pitch deck. Every time when we raise money, we raise it with our connection that we made with those partners.
Thank you. Let's take the middle line. Founders should be fundraising all the time. 3, 2, 1, take your spot.
You only should raise if you know what you are doing and why do you need those monies. Most of the time, it's either time to market, you need to grow your team to be able to deliver, or otherwise somebody will do it for you, or you need to just expand in whatever you need. But if you don't know why you need those monies, you shouldn't waste your time on the fundraising, you should waste your time on thinking about what could you provide. So only raise when you need it.
Well, like you said, I'm a lawyer, and for lawyers, words matter, right? What you said is, should founders fundraise all the time, but you didn't specify how much time a week they would spend on it. So, in my view, you can spend an hour a week on fundraising, but fundraising could be keeping potential investors up to date, saying how you're doing, say, hey, last time we spoke, we're doing this and this now, which might be interesting for you. That's the first point. Second point, we see a lot of people who run out of runway. And so they don't have any runway anymore. They have money for 1 month. And they're with their back against the wall, which gives you the weakest negotiation position you can ever have. So you tend to accept terms you would normally not accept. So also for that reason, you should always fundraise, if only a small portion of your time.
I personally think about fundraising as dating, or like flirting with somebody. So in case you date too much, I mean, you lose on the opportunity of having very real nice relationship. If you're very stuck with your relationship and you don't flirt from some time to time to somebody, you lose appreciation of who you are, and then you do lose about the value of who you are. So my idea is that you need to be somewhere like fundraising a bit, but not too much, in order to keep a very good value of yourself, and also focusing more on like the business, because like the business in the end will drive all the evaluations you have.
Very, very short. No one gives you money when you want money or when you need money. So just work till you reach that moment, and the fundraising will be extremely easy.
Okay, let's take the middle line. So the last statement, raise as much as possible.
Depends on the definition, as much as possible, right? So you should raise as much as is reasonable, I would say, not like as possible. But you should have enough buffer, or enough time. You should buy enough time to build the story and prove kind of the valuation and exceed it. So.
Okay, so I've got two reasons. One is psychological and one is economic or financial. The psychological one is I could imagine that a founder doesn't want his team to be thinking, woohoo, I'm swimming in money and we can go on forever on this money. You need to keep your team hungry, I would say. Second one is economical and pretty obvious. If you raise more than you need, you do it at a valuation that's lower than when you would raise the same money later on. So in my view, you should raise enough money to get to the next step and really raise your valuation, and then do the next round at a lower valuation. It's a bit of an open door, but it does fit the answer or the question.
I would just add one thing, that it's not only about valuation but also dilution, and a successful round will most likely lead to another successful round, and it's very important how the cap table looks in the future. So from this perspective, I would definitely align my capital needs and my cash flow, and maybe augment that by 10% just to make sure that I'm covered the surprises, and try to have enough runway for the 18-24 months, depending on how I want to plan that. And that's about it, because if that's successful, it would just mean better results for the company and for myself.
The lawyer and the investor convinced me to change my opinion.
I think that you need to raise as much as possible to kill your competition when there is competition. And when there is no competition, then you need to be more modest in raising, because you might do yourself a disservice. But when you get your product market fit and there is competition, you just need to kill the competition.
Thank you. Well, let's give it a round of applause for group number 1.